Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany, and today we are at day 21 of the 31 days of tarot, and today we're looking at some of our favorite ways to store decks. I'm going to show you a couple. I have a very large collection. I'm very blessed. So I'm going to show you a few of the ways that I store my decks. I keep a lot of my decks in their original boxes. For example, like the Gaian Tarot, that's a great sturdy box, and a lot of the new Llewellyn decks have the similar thing. I do find with this though, if I keep them in this, they sometimes don't get out as much. They don't come out to play as much because I feel like oftentimes I'm just like grabbing whatever deck is, when I'm getting set up for the day, I'm kind of grabbing whatever deck is around. And it kind of reminds me of a saying of Chase Jarvis, who's a very famous photographer. And if any of you guys don't know this, I was a photographer, won a few awards myself, but I'm certainly not as good as he is. And he said the best camera is the camera you have on you. And it's kind of the same thing with tarot decks. Like, it's no good to have all these decks around if you don't have access to them. So I had the Centennial Rider-Waite-Smith in this box, and I actually took it out, put it in a pouch and put it next to my working space so I could use it more this year. I also have trays on wheels from IKEA, which are amazing. I might show you very quickly. The camera will get shaky. But here are some other things. So I've got handmade pouches. My mum made me a bunch of pouches because I can't sew. And she made them really big too, so they can fit nearly any deck in there. Whoops. And something that's really cute that I've seen people do is put a little tag on the end of their string so that you know what deck is inside, so you don't have to open them all. This was given to me as a part of a collection from a Tarot Tribe member. Isn't it stunning? Look at the beads on that. And I got a bunch of matching reading cloths with them. And these are some of my favorite pouches. I mean, that is just like unbelievably stunning. So pouches. Another really good trick for those of you who are looking is I go to, it's Barnes and Noble in the States, but it's Chapters here in Canada, and I go there quite a bit, and their pencil cases are amazing. This one has the Sacred Creators Oracle in it. They're double lined, so the deck is not going to get damaged, and they're really durable and they're so pretty. So I've got a number of these, and when they go on sale, if the print is something I really like I've got a feather one that I really like, I grab a few extras if they're really cheap, because I find they're really good. Another thing that I was doing but I stopped was Ipsy, which is a subscription service for makeup, and I never use makeup, so I stopped. But their pouches, they do a makeup bag every month, and the Ipsy subscription is like $10 for anyone in the States. It's more for people in Canada, which is why I stopped. But you can get those as well. But they have Ipsy branding on it, so I was like, meh. I tried. Boxes are another one. I have massive boxes full of decks, like trays that I bring out. And I think I showed that in my 31 Days of Tarot last year. This is a box I got from a friend of mine when she went to Puerto Vallarta. And it is so beautiful, and it houses the Tarot of Reflections in it, which I trimmed. It was the first deck I ever trimmed because I absolutely hated the borders. It's a really pretty deck though. I should use it more. Story of my life. I love boxes. The thing with boxes is they get heavy when you have a larger collection, but I freaking love boxes. I'm like I'm so curious that if I walk into someone's houses and I see like all these boxes and things, like I so want to go rummaging all the way through them. And sometimes I also have to admit that I just I just go through my boxes of decks and play with my cards. And this is one of my favorite ones as well. This one is usually it's a copper, and it has the Victoria Regine Tarot in it. Ooh, which is such a beautiful deck. Yeah, I'm sure that card scares the crap out of people. A deck that I want to use more of as well, even though it's out of print, I should use it. It was gifted to me, so I pretty much will store decks in anything, but I am pretty, like, I think it needs, I love my cards and I like them to feel special. So those are some of the ways that I have them. I'm going to show you a couple of other things now, so I'm sorry for the shaky camera while I handhold the phone, but let's go have a look at some of the other ways that I store my decks. Okay, so you're getting a little tour of my space. These I got from IKEA next to my air filter for $35 each, and they have wheels on the bottom and they are amazing. One of them is just chocked full of decks, both in pouches and in their boxes. I just think because of the shallowness of the other one has got decks in it as well as herbs and things, witchy things. I like this because they're shallow, they're not too deep, so you can see pretty quickly what decks you have. But they fit so many because there's so many drawers. So that's one of the things that I keep my decks in. Okay, so this is the other one, and this is right near my reading space. So if you see my videos, this is a bookcase that is on my left, and they're filled with decks. So this is the IKEA, God, love IKEA. So not only do I have them just on my bookcase, I also have them in the little drawers that go with them, and I really like these. The only thing is that because they're so deep, I have to rotate the decks out quite a lot, which is not such a bad thing, but that's another way I store my cards. Okay, so hopefully it's not too shaky. I'm going to try really hard to show you a couple of other of the storages that I have. So many of my decks on my altar, and they just stay there without any storage. This is a box that I decoupaged many years ago with glitter and tarot pictures, and it has a ton, like, decks in every drawer. So and some of them are in their boxes, some of them are in silk bags or wrapped in scarves. And then I just have a bunch on my bookshelf. So that's a bit of a tour of some of the ways that I store my decks, and I store them everywhere. And we'll see you tomorrow.